Florida Congressman Mike Haridopolos, sitting on the House Financial Services Committee. Congressman, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. I know housing is a priority. You'll probably move to get the housing bill across the finish line, certainly after passing some key procedural rules in the Senate. What do you expect to get done before the August recess?
Well, first, Maria, good morning. And yes, I do think we will pass that housing bill this week. It's been something we've been working on for months. As you know, we finally broke through. The number one way we can reduce costs for housing is increasing the supply. And that's exactly what this bill does. We remove a lot of the permitting requirements, a lot of the red tape duplicity here on the federal level. That should help not only, of course, consumers, but also making more dollars available for people to buy homes. And so we're really confident that will get done. And as you mentioned, 3.0 is vitally important, in my opinion. Number one reason, taking on fraud. We've seen these horrific stories in Minnesota, California, and so many blue states. We need to be aggressive in making sure people who work hard can actually see their dollars being spent on real programs, not these bogus ones.
Now, on this housing bill, this is the 21st Century Road to Housing bill, and the final legislation coming after all of those months of negotiations between the Senate and the House. It would roll back some permitting regulations while limiting corporations from buying single-family homes. It was another priority for President Trump. Congressman, is this a priority because you believe that this is going to affect inflation and the cost of living?
I do. I mean, number one reason why we have these higher housing costs, in my opinion, is that you had 10 million people coming here illegally over 4 years. You had too many people demanding housing. And by changing these rules and laws, we're going to be able to reduce some of that friction so that we can have a lot more supply on hand. And as more people move out because of our tougher immigration policies, we think this will help bring down costs. And, of course, we're also seeing a nice tick down in gas prices as well, which should also make sure we can combat inflation.
So what's your sense of the other things hanging in the balance? I mean, I know that you all have passed the Save America Act in the House, but it's going nowhere in the Senate. What about the FISA renewal of Section 702 as well?
Again, these are common sense issues, and it just shows how dug in the Democrats are. We're going to see primaries tomorrow in places like New York, where the Democrats are going to nominate some very radical people, to put it nicely. And this is where the Democrat Party is. And so this is why they've dug in the Senate. They've denied us the opportunity to pass the Save America, which is maybe the most common sense bill I've ever seen in my 2 years in Congress. Only Americans vote in American elections, and you have to show an ID in order to vote. And the Democrats are crowing about Jim Crow. They might want to take my history class and learn what Jim Crow really is, as opposed to this bogus smokescreen that they put up. I think we can pass Save America. It's the best thing we can do for this country to ensure we have confidence again in our elections. And I still think we got a good chance to pack FISA because, again, the number one responsibility of government is to protect life and property. And that's exactly what this agreement can do, especially after the reforms made over the last few years.
So what's your sense right now of what else gets done in terms of legislation? I mean, we're all waiting to see if, in fact, there's a shot for the Save America Act as well as FISA. What do you think? Do you think there's any opportunity to actually get the Save America Act done and attach it to FISA?
I think it's really challenging. I mean, you've seen how dug in the Senate is. I'd like to see a change in the filibuster rules because, as you know, filibuster is designed to slow down a vote, not completely deny the vote. When you deny the vote in the Senate, you're denying the verdict of the 2024 elections. I hope they can make some movement in the Senate. But I'm glad to see we're finally moving forward with common sense things like we're passing this week. The housing bill is a big deal to a lot of people, especially where I live in Florida. We saw pretty big run-ups in costs because of the influx of people coming into the country.
Well, I mean, the other big issue is the defense money, and we know that VP J.D. Vance is in Switzerland today. More talks happening between the United States and Iran. Members of Congress received that memorandum of understanding between the U.S. and Iran after days of complaints from lawmakers on both sides of the aisle. Some were worried that Iran was getting too much. Republicans, some think that the agreement will hold. Congressman, what's your take in terms of the defense money that will be needed once we get out of this conflict to replenish our weapons out there? Is it realistic to think it goes into a third reconciliation package? Is it a supplemental? How are you going to deal with the money the Pentagon's asking for?
Well, I think they're legitimate in asking for this money. We've expended a lot of munitions, of course, making sure we've made sure that the Iranians never have a nuclear weapon. And as you know, we lost $90 billion worth of equipment when Joe Biden ran out of Afghanistan. And so that being the case, we need to make sure men and women in the military, including my son, have the weapons of war, God forbid it breaks out. But the best deterrence to war is to having a strong military, and that's why that strong military is so vital. I'd like to see that added as well. Again, it's just what we do as a country. Number one responsibility, as I said before, protecting life and property. And that's when you defend the military with the best equipment possible to take on some of these rogue elements and candidly crazy people in places like Iran.
All right. Mike Haridopolos will be watching all of that. We so appreciate your insights on it. Thank you.